mind what we were discussing. Our subject matter.
I'm going to run through the PowerPoint to give you some more information, and we will have a question and answer session at the end. Of course, Tony talked about, bond passage. It helps the overall quality of life for all residents. And it also helps continue the momentum we've been doing with things like the capital improvement program. Five people, we've kind of identified the five things people look when moving to a city. School being number one, affordability, housing, the infrastructure, and how involved the community is. And like you said, this positions El Reno as a growing suburb, just like you cannot try to repeat or compare. But like Roger said, it's kind of hard when they're the closest thing to us, and we see a lot of the things they're doing. Why did the board decide to do the bond relation now? New and improved facilities help attract those businesses and new families. It's a chance to finally put together some long-term master planning, not just piecemeal, not just adding a few things here and not looking to the future, looking out 5, 10 years. I'll talk about the length of the bond. That's the thing we have to look at, the actual master plan of this. Interest rates are at an all-time low. I think Jordan could tell you Deer Creek sold some bonds just here a few weeks ago for under 1%. And we're seeing that consistently in a lot of places right now. Construction costs, of course, are always going to increase. And that's another thing. If we do it now, we can capitalize on the costs now, not 5 and 10 years from now. How was the plan developed? Of course, due to our aging facilities, like Roger said, in the 30s and the 40s, we have some needs. We have some issues. Classroom space, we have some overcrowding. Many meetings were held that included a lot of individuals from the community, school administration, and other school staff. And through conversations, we started out first talking about doing maybe a couple of grade schools, of 3, 4, maybe 7, 8. But we came back to the conclusion in the end to a plan that was not thought of in the beginning, and that was to build a new 9 through 12 high school. And the other part of this is also renovate these other sites that needs to be done. How will the bond affect it? It's a 12-year bond. It's a one-time property tax increase of 6.61%, which, kind of an example, if you pay $1,000 in property taxes, you're going to see a $66.61 increase a year, or $5.51 a month. And we kind of try to put it into perspective, basically the cost of a hamburger, fries, and a Coke. We did have some other ways of doing it without increasing taxes, but it wasn't what I call good business. We could have took us out to almost a 20-year bond, which banks are leery. They don't want to buy bonds that extend that far out. And because of the length of that, it compares to a 15 to 30-year mortgage, which would have paid almost $8 million more in interest. Some things I want to talk about, because there are some exemptions out there for people that are on fixed incomes. Some of the homestead exemptions, 65 years and older and less than $44,800 a year, are eligible to file to freeze their assessed property value. People with income less than $20,000 are eligible to file for a double homestead exemption. Here's our current model. We have Hillcrest, which is our pre-K and kindergarten center, which is almost at capacity. We have Rose Witcher, which is our first and second grade center, which is pretty close to capacity. Lincoln is the same way with 3rd and 4th. Webster with 5th grade. Grover Middle School. And then, of course, the junior high/high school complex that houses 8th, 9th, and then 10th through 12th. What we're looking at proposing is going to a model of this. The high school, Hillcrest will still have the pre-K and kindergarten with 5 classroom additions. And in conjunction with that, it would also have a secure vestibule where there's a designated entrance, some air conditioning in the gym, increased parking. Rose Witcher is the same way. We would have 5 classroom additions, address some roof issues, air conditioning in the gym, increased parking, a new secure vestibule. Lincoln would be taken offline. Now, offline meaning, don't know for sure what we're going to do today because you can't sell the building, it's not for sale. You can't demolish a building that's not vacant. But we've built in some options that we are looking at into the bond, one of them being the cost of demolition. Webster would be the same way, taking that offline. There are some other ideas there of making that a service center for our maintenance, our bus server, and our technology department. That would move 3rd and 4th grade to our Rover Middle School, which would require some classroom additions and some work with making that more suitable for those grade levels, being playgrounds, things like that. Now we move 5th and 6th grade to junior high at Lucas Hall Complex, which there have been some concerns about putting 5th and 6th grade in a facility that was meant, or has been used now as a junior high. Well, there are some things we have discussed about when we fence the alleyway off, we can fence the south street off and make a playground, more security cameras. It would mean upgrading the gym with air conditioning, and even possibly Ms. Tippins leaving the 5th grade in one side, maybe Lucas Hall, and the 6th grade in the other. And you have to remember, these grade levels don't switch classes. 6th grade may, but they don't change classes like the junior high and high school kids. And they won't be traveling back and forth between the high school complex and the junior high complex. But that would put 7th and 8th grade at the high school, which they're used to changing classes and doing things like that now. It's more suitable. There's some minor modifications that have to take place because the previous bonds took care of some of the infrastructure needs. There would need to be some upgrade of tile and paint and some renovation of the gym down below to be suitable for a cafeteria. That would bring us to a new high school. You know, that was one thing we decided is we want to make the newer technology out there available to these older grade levels, because we all know that's something we deal with out at the technology center where I work, is how to reach these kids today. Every one of them have they're facing a tablet or a laptop or a phone, and how do you reach those kids to help better test scores? And one thing that has been proven is to reaching them with enhanced technology. And actually that takes me back to the junior and high school, is that allows those grade levels to actually have facilities like labs, science labs, computer rooms, things that weren't available at the elementary schools that we were taking offline. And of course, also that's not listed on here, that would also include over $500,000 for technology needs, and a proposition too, that the transportation needs a separate proposition by statute for new transportation, new buses, replacing buses. What is the timing of the project? Upon passage, it would be the new high school is anticipated to be open around Christmas of 2013. Renovations to existing high school at Edendale Lucas Hall would be completed in August 2014. Classroom additions at Grobler Middle School, Rosewitcher, and Hillcrest in August 2013. And of course, furniture, technology could be purchased almost immediately next spring. Where is the high school located? The board unanimously decided to buy a piece of property on a country club. Just trying to get my bearings here. Right over here, it's 92 acres. Here's some of the reasons why. The site engineers recommended this property as the best option to support the amount of growth and the infrastructure we needed. A lot of the other properties we looked at did not have enough acreage to, let alone build what we're wanting to build currently, but for expansion later. This has proven to be an area of continued development on Country Club. Cost was the biggest factor. The land we are looking at purchasing is around 15 cents per square foot, and the next closest was $1.15 and up. And like I said, a lot of the other properties we look at did not have enough acreage to support even our current land. Our location option we're looking at is 92 acres at $6,000 an acre. And this doesn't just allow growth just for the high school, but the whole district. We have a lot of growth room later on for things if we need it. What can you do to help pass this bond? Of course, people know this takes a supermajority vote, which is one vote over 60%. Educating your friends and family about all the aspects of the school bond. And of course, accurate information is key, and just going out and vote. I guess that leads to any questions. If you have, we'll be around to answer questions. I know me, Mr. Lee, Dr. Parrott, and Mr. Jensen are here. We can answer questions, so can Mr. Rivera, and our people here with CMS and PBK and Jordan and Ms. Tippins. Our numbers are listed in the paper. Any questions you might have, please feel free to give us a call. And like I said, the biggest thing is just getting out and voting. So I have. If there's no other questions, I thank you guys for coming and listening to this. And it is an important issue. It's dealing with economic development and development for our school system. So if you do have questions, please call. Thank you.
I would just like to thank everybody once again for coming out. Please place comment cards on the table. We'd really like to get your feedback on this budget because we're going to have more in the future. and others that you would like for the future. If you have any questions